enough information to make good decisions. We know you will still be out there seeking true information about Uganda, but you depend a lot on social media. And we all know what you get is often either fake or, of course, skewed. If you hear it from me, it's promotional because that's me. So you think, okay, everything's great in Uganda. You hear it from someone else, and they think we are the pits. So really, this is an opportunity that we take every year to bring the people that make things happen in this country to give you the true information of what is here. As Ugandans, we are also here to listen to you. We need to know your challenges, the challenges you face in Uganda. Over the years, we have caused many issues you face to be addressed by either the government or whatever agency is in charge. And some issues like the citizenship saga, the dual passport, dual, what is it called? Citizenship, and many other issues that we have listened to you and come back and done something about them. And we want you, as you focus, the diaspora, you focus so much on the politics. I want to ask you to recognize our hardworking civil servants, like the brilliant health professionals now fighting COVID-19. They are giving it their all. We know you have problems in the countries you're in, who had better maybe medical facilities, but our nurses, our doctors, our researchers are in there making things happen. We have to be really, really grateful.
Wait. You said clicking.
We are grateful to the justice system. Civil society are standing tall, fighting for our human rights, and the private sector continues to create jobs and pay the taxes needed to sustain this economy. Last but not least, our everyday, our communities, our smart, friendly Ugandans. So that is why we come here every year, trying to make things happen between our people living in the diaspora. We are truly grateful for the remittances that you send. The Business Breakfast has always focused on the opportunities in Uganda and how Ugandans in the diaspora can tap into them in the past. So these are incorporated here today. Today we have just this one event. We are not having two like we normally do. And our partner, Uganda Investment Authority, and the different players in business are here. You will hear from, of course, you just heard from Esther and Ezekiel, our East African idols. We are so proud of you. They are so good. We are looking at them as representing the social networking gala. That's where we normally have fun. This year, we have not been able to recognize the diaspora Ugandans who have excelled in what they do in their adopted countries. But we do promise next year this will happen. Your contribution to Uganda through the remittances is really appreciated. Yes, it has gone down. We hope it will come back as COVID is better controlled all over the world. You always support education for your siblings, for your friends. You support health and family consumption. A number of you have invested in agriculture and tourism, construction, ICT, and other sectors. I want to confirm to you, as a returnee, and I know there are a number of returnees online that will bear me out, that you can do business here. My partners and I have grown our bottler, our Pepsi franchise. Your Excellency, Ambassador Natalie, we run the Pepsi franchise, which is an American franchise in Uganda. We have been running it for 25 years. And in 2018, we won Bottler PepsiCo Award for Bottler of the Year. And also, same year, URS Taxpayer of the Year 2018. I am also a farmer, and I want to encourage you who have land in this country to utilize it. Uganda will feed the world. I'm always diaspora, and even the Ugandans back here at home to be a part of this. So I will wish you to enjoy this event, support the initiatives to keep your families safe against COVID, and better services to our people. I thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you, Ronnie. I hand back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maggie. It's definitely a pleasure to have someone who I also happen to call mom. Now that my earthly mom is not here, I definitely always feel definitely that motherly touch when I talk and call you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a sort of a tapping. I don't know whether it's a hissing or there's a certain tap that is happening. I don't know whether it's someone who was unmuted. We will ask you kindly that if you are able to mute yourself, if you're not speaking, it will help us greatly. Right now, we wanted to move this program along, and again, Mr. Solomon Jago was experiencing a little bit of a challenge. Sorry, Mr. Solomon Serwanja was experiencing a challenge with his audio system. As I wait, and again, as basically I step in for him, I just wanted to move this program along and invite Uganda Investment Authority, represented by Mr. Joseph Chigundu, who is basically happens to be the acting head, to step in here and pretty much give us what they're doing. I don't know whether we're going to, Mr. Jago, do we have his video ready, or are we going to, we're going to sort of hear from Uganda Investment Authority, Mr. Joseph Chigundu. We're going to have a video by the one-stop center, and then we're going to go to Mr. Chigundu, and then we will go into Bank of Uganda, and then we'll hear from the Immigration Department. I'm sure many people are waiting to hear what the Immigration Department has to offer in terms of the East African passports and the changes that are coming up at the very end of this year. So let's hear from Uganda Investment Authority, one stop, and then we'll proceed with the program. Thank you.
Yes, Ronnie, are we speaking fast and the video second or the video first? And then
why don't you speak fast and then because I thought it would be rolled, but go ahead since
yeah.
you have the mic.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you very much, Ronnie, and all the organizers.
Are you having trouble as well with your video? Because we don't see.
Yes, you're not casting my video, and I don't seem to have the rights to do so. But I can kick off as you sort that out, no problem. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of the United States of America, Natalie Brown, the patron, our dear patron of the Uganda Diaspora Network, Dr. Maggie Chigozi, who also happens to be one of our most vibrant former executive directors and also a big investor in the beverage sector, heads of government institutions on this forum, fellow members of the business community in Uganda and beyond, and of course, our dear esteemed brothers and sisters living out of Uganda. You are the gist of this event, and I want to bring you greetings from Uganda Investment Authority. All protocol observed. On behalf of UIA, I want to thank you all for putting aside time to attend this event. This time we are online because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We hope we will be able to end this soon and go back to business as usual. But together with the Uganda Diaspora Network, UI has previously championed these efforts to organize an annual Uganda Diaspora Business Breakfast, which I think our patron has touched upon. But with this time round, we have not been able to do so because of the challenges. We are grateful to the support, for the support of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our partnership with URA, Bank of Uganda, who've been helping us implement some of these events over the years, and hope we can get back to physical meetings soon. But just to assure you, just like the patron mentioned, we remain a very highly competitive investment destination. Actually, we ranked second highest attractive destination for FDI in East Africa, according to the World Investment Report, that's 2020. And this should assure you that we actually remain a very safe place to absorb your cheaper investment funds. And we want to partner with you to bring home some of the newer technologies that a lot of your countries expose you to, and Uganda could benefit. As a country, we are investing very heavily in infrastructure development, especially in transport and electricity. These have been previously challenges. You know, many of you know about our road network and how it has been crowded out. by lack of infrastructure, maybe in the other areas like railway and so on and so on, water transport. Investments in these areas are happening, as you know. In terms of electricity, this was also a challenge. 10 years ago, we have, I think now, a surplus of the electricity supply. So we are waiting for you guys to come and set up, and then we absorb that power, which is seemingly costly because of lack of absorption. And we've done all this in a bid to bring down the cost of production. Okay, so we've been, and those of you who've been following us on the World Bank doing business rankings, you're aware that we've been gradually becoming more and more competitive. When the video on the one-stop center is played, you will see that there are a number of efforts by UIA and a lot of its partners to try and bring down, further improve the cost of doing business by going electronic, by partnering physically in a cooperative arrangement, and so on. So according to opinion by Bloomberg, Uganda has been named among the fastest growing economies in the world over the year 2020. Although this has been affected slightly by the corona pandemic, bringing down our average growth, I think, to about 2.1% from where it was averaging about 5.5 over the last 4 or 5 years. Okay. But so this is the kind of environment we are trying to lure you to come home to and put money in different areas. I'm glad that I am joined by our Director for Investment Promotion, who is quite articulate on a number of, we give you inner depth in some of these, but I will nevertheless highlight some of the areas where we think we should, where we draw you, and we are sure that you will be able to put money and the high returns. Of course, backed up by your access to cheaper finances coming in from abroad. I want to recognize our partners from Uganda Revenue Authority, who really speak a lot to do with our, on the aspect of our incentives for investors. Our partners from ERSP, who do a lot of work to make sure that you're duly registered. We've been bringing down these registration timelines. I think now the benchmark is 4 hours to get you a business fully registered. We have now opened up the portal actually online, so you can actually do this online with a little bit of assistance from our people. Like to recognize the partnership with NIRA also on both on the electronic platform, but also physically, and the fact that they have also been working tirelessly to improve the issues of citizenship registration for our diasporans, and many other players, NEMA and so on, that work with us to make sure that the whole investment climate is friendly and faster, UNBS and so on. You're aware that we have been registering a lot of developments from the diaspora in some of the areas which we pointed out earlier, like last year. Those of us who've been interested in tracking the progress of some of the people, investors who have dared the economy, we are aware that some of your colleagues have actually invested in housing, low-cost housing and apartments and so on, and they're actually very happy. Some of them visited me here at UIA and were all thumbs up saying, oh, we should have done this earlier. But I would like to highlight a few areas where I think that if you put money, it's a straight up game. Investment is more or less a given. Someone earlier on touched on our agro base and its strength. But I want to tell you that the facts on the ground is that Uganda actually holds 52% of the arable land in EAC. So we're really, really blessed. This is something we need to take advantage of. 52% of the arable land in the East African community actually is with us in Uganda. Go north, go west, go south, go east. You can plant in it practically anything, many times without need for fertilization and so on. And it will go. This is not the same for our neighbors in Kenya and Tanzania, largely, not to put them down, but really these are facts. But the sad fact is that 80% of this arable land is actually not tilled. And if it is, then it is still using very basic technology. So this is an area where we really want to attract people to come into Uganda, do extensive farming, and then do value addition on this. So the area of commercial agriculture and agro-processing based on our huge agricultural base is a very strong factor, and it's something we want to encourage you to get into. Recently, we've been doing a lot of minerals and minerals beneficiation surveys, and the indicators are that this is a very ripe area for investment as well, and we would encourage you to come to us, work through the profile of licenses that you need, and this is and get into the minerals and minerals processing sector. The other area that where we really would want to encourage, especially leveraging on the technologies that you guys are exposed to, is the business process outsourcing sector, which has remained very vibrant for growth. over the years, of course, leveraging on our very skilled numbers of people, graduates, but unemployed. Many of our professionals are either unemployed or not fully utilized. So if you get into business process outsourcing, you really it should be easy for you to leverage on our existing labor force to actually make some good money out of it. Of course, the other area where a lot of diasporans have started playing is the tourism and hospitality sector, where our colleagues from URA have actually given us very good incentives. I'm not going to get into the depth. There's probably somebody from there who will go into the depth of this and probably answer questions on the incentives. But tourism, we are very happy. Of course, it's one of the highest foreign earner for us, right up there with coffee at 1.3 billion. Just very close to what you guys in the diaspora are bringing in at 1 billion. So you recognize that. But that's still a very bright, vibrant sector where you can actually put money. The incentives are very good. UI will work with you. The ministry is there to hold hand, and then we get you. So this is something that we want to interest you into. Then, of course, there's the very good statistics on the low-cost housing gaps. Kampala alone has a gap of over 200,000 units for housing. So housing and real estate is a very fertile area for investment. Like I said earlier, I'm happy to know that some of you guys have actually come through and put money in apartments and some of low-cost housing, and you're very happy. And when you pass by and say hello to Uganda Investment Authority and probably 1, 2, 3 things that you need, and we are able to assist you, we put a smile on our face. But I want to see bigger numbers. Maybe let's have about 20 investors from the diaspora putting money in housing and real estate every year. That will make us happy, and of course to help us reduce the housing gap that we have in the country. Without really going much into detail and giving an opportunity to others to say what they have to say, I want to interest you in visiting Uganda Investment Authority, both physically and online, those who can't make it, whatever. Please watch the video on our one-stop center that basically shows government's efforts on trying to make the business environment quite friendlier every year by adding on services, both physical and online, and making it easy for people to invest without necessarily having to come home. And I want to end by saying I want to thank a lot of our colleagues, especially from the Directorate of Immigration, who have also tried to make it very, very easy for our diasporans to stay connected home and be able to do what they have to do. Thank you very much. And I look forward to a very interesting and vibrant discussion on this webinar. Ronnie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Chigundu. If we can go into the video for the one-stop center, we'll then shift gears and move into Uganda. We'll go into, Bank of Uganda, and then the Ministry of Internal Affairs that have a presentation on the passports and dual citizenship, as well as trafficking, as we move this program along. Thank you.
The Uganda Investment Authority, the body that is charged with managing and coordinating investments in Uganda, was formed in 1991 in the Investment Code Act of 1991, which is now repealed by the Investment Code Act 2019. Initially, UIA was set up to promote and facilitate investments in the country. Its mandate grew over time to include areas like promoting the development of industrial parks. And here under the old code actually is also when we started the one-stop center, facilitating SMEs and so on. But we were strengthened by the law of 2019, which now really embodied these new developments in the new law to promote and facilitate investments, something we've always done since 1991 on research data and research positions on investment for our companies from small, enabling them to grow into medium and eventually large scale companies. And we also now directly develop industrial parks as one of our key mandates.
Uganda Investment Authority is growing with a portfolio of 27 industrial parks that have been earmarked. This includes the signature park, which is Namamve, Luzira, Bweyogerere, Soroti, Kasese, and Mbarara, which have already started. One Stop Center was created by a decree of the Cabinet in 2014 to de-bureaucratize the process of setting up investment in Uganda. Cabinet envisioned 7 key government agencies, which were the key to licensing and setting up businesses in Uganda. These include Uganda Investment Authority, UIA, which deals with investment licensing. Uganda Registration Services Bureau, URSB, handling registration and setup of companies at a primary stage. Uganda Revenue Authority, URA, for registration and tax management. Uganda National Bureau of Standards, UNBS, which standardizes products and services. Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, for planning approvals and licenses in the capital city. The Department of Citizenship and Immigration Control, DCIC, for immigration-related services. Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, handling land title registration and verification of existing titles.
The center has grown. It's now added on NITAU, the National Information Technology Agency, that helps support and host our technology infrastructure. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later. We've added on National Water and Sewage Corporation that handles clients that have projects that need water, just like many of them do. We have Umeme, the body that handles our supply for electricity to projects and all other investors. We added on NEMA for projects that are environmentally sensitive. So that's the body that manages our environmental, handles environmental management in the country. By 2015, Uganda had launched business processes online for investment licensing. We had done business reservation. You could actually reserve a company, a business name with the URSB through our online portal, what we call the eBiz platform. You could actually verify a land title, for those of you who know. The other service, so of course, we started off with trying to put an online payment platform as well, so that those clients who are based abroad could actually make a payment and also be able to get to see through the whole process.
For more inquiries about the bouquet of services offered at the One Stop Center and to seek any desired help regarding business processing and licensing in Uganda, please call +256 206 300 968.
Weewaawo omulabi wa telefayini yaffe tukyagenda maaso abogezi babiri abakavaako okuli Dr. Maggie Kigozi ate ne mukulu Joseph Kigundu okuva mu Uganda Investment Authority. Tugenda kumulamu ate tugenda kudda tusongere okuba nti tugoberera enteekateeka eno. Tovaawo tukomawo.